Hello, everybody. I am Sweet Pea,
And I'm Pretty Bird.
and welcome to Pretty Sweet Distractions. Because together we are pretty sweet, where we speak unfiltered about life, love, poetry, and prowess. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the distractions in the form of open discussions on artful words. Now, of course, we do have some rules. We are grown up people talking about grown up things, sometimes very grown up things, using grown up words. So if you're easily offended, this may not be your bouncing tea bag, cup of tea, or whatever floats your boat. We like to have fun, poke fun, and generally have a great time. If you're down to be distracted, come on, hang out, chat, call, like, follow, share, leave your opinions on our opinions. Click all the hearts and show us some love. We have live streams every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. And tonight, it's all about the birth of a smile. We all have those little things that always seem to make us smile. At times, the warm and fuzzies can be hard to come by. Whatever it is, those infamous whiskers on kittens, or the smell of your favorite cup of coffee, what are those things, those little favorite things that brighten your day, lift a mood, or birth a smile? Because it is hard to get that little bit of smile. But, you know, it's rough out there right now. It's a hard day's work. It's a hard days at the gas pump. It's a hard day. Wow, it's just a hard day right now.
And when it's
But
all that's
so
what
I've
makes
been
you
thinking
smile.
about how happiness shows up in small little bits, unexpected ways. So, what tiny little things can make me pause, even just for a second, make me feel a little bit lighter? Something that might be joyful, something that can make a moment not be so dreary, or something that comes like as a surprise. I mean, it's been raining cats and dogs here, lightning. My dogs are all scared. They're hiding under couches. One is sitting on my feet. Now, that kind of makes me smile. Not that the dog's afraid of the thunder, but that he's like leaning on me and I'm his safe place. So that's kind of comforting. That makes me smile. That's something that brings joy because I can bring comfort to my dog. So there is a place that I can always go to where I have comfort with my friends. I get to come here and talk to people. I get to share my work, my poetry, hang out at the podcast, get to hang out with Pretty Bird and Raconteur, and hopefully Buddha will be here. I get to share poetry with other people on the other sites, you know, um, just things that generally make me smile. And, I have to really stop and look around at things that happen around me. Sometimes housework, just throwing on my headset and listening to music and just being kind of going into, I don't know, a robot mode and getting it done and just enjoying the music and just trying to find all those little things that can take away the doldrum, the everyday of, oh, prices in the grocery store are going up, or all the things that I'm bombarded with, the sadness, the craziness, the anxiety of it all. Where do I look to find that tiny bit of light? I have a grandson that brings me all kinds of light and facts. He'll talk to me about some of the craziest things. Like he was very excited the other day to use the word, well, that's a coincidence. And he had been waiting to use it. And I can't remember, we were in the car and something happened and he blurted out right away, oh, well, isn't that a coincidence? And it was so cute and so funny because you could tell that he wanted to use the word. So we had said immediately, "Oh, have you been holding that in your pocket?" And he had this big smile on his face. And he said, "Yep, I've been holding that one. I couldn't wait to use it." So those are the little things that bring me joy too, because he's a lover of words and he likes to, throw words in when he can. So just listening to him talk sometimes is really cool. And that's always something that can make me smile and kind of bring that out because it's so easy to kind of just get down and wallow in whatever we're wallowing in. Because I'm not generally a happy person. I generally let, things get to me and people suck and, everybody is just kind of like, oh, God, not again, or why is that person on my ass, or what do you want from me, because all day it's either this person wants something or that person wants something, and then I become a person that I'm always like, okay, then I want this from you or I want this from you, and I forget my sense of what kind of friend I should be, and that makes me feel horrible. But I need to put myself in check, and that because these people are the people that make me happy, and I need to make sure that I'm not such a doldrum myself because their moods affect my mood, and that's not the person I should be. So I really should, you know, being honest and true to myself, go, what are you doing? Like just the other day, I was doing something that I'm trying to make myself happy with, and it can be a little frustrating. But Freebird, when she's teaching me, or when she was first teaching me, when I was back in Florida with her, she taught me this crochet song, and I
It's not a song, it's just a stitch.
no, no, but you sang it to me. I don't know if you realized you were singing it to me, but you were singing it to me when you were teaching it, or I maybe I just hummed it in my head, but I forgot the rhythm of it. So I sent her a message. Can you sing me my crochet song? And she sent the words, and so I was back in my head. Loop two, loop over.
After I was like, a crochet song question mark. And I was like, it must be this.
Yeah. So, but it is. It's loop two, loop. So in my head, when you were doing that, it was a little ditty. It was a little song in my head. So, I know it. I don't know if it made you smile or whatever. Or you're just like, what a freak. Um, but when she was doing it too, it made me smile. So now every time I pick up the crochet hook and I'm trying, I hear you singing that in my brain. So it always makes me smile. I don't know if I'll ever get another stitch patch that one stitch, but
That one stitch makes about 50 different stitches, so you're good.
okay. So, when I get to that smooth little transition, but right now that's the song. I have my own personal crochet song. So, that's the thing. So, when I'm watching TV or I'm doing something, I'm also trying to do things with my hands so that I can have that. So, that's my happy little crochet song. And that's what I get to do. And that always kind of calms me is that your voice in my head has I play my little crochet song. And it's just weird that I never really thought about all these little things till we decided to do this show. Because a cup of coffee, I don't know if a cup of coffee makes me smile, but I like the smell of it. And it basically is get your ass out of bed. It's time to start the day. Which I am not a big smiler in the morning. I'm not a, oh, hey, let's get up and start the day. Let's take a shower. Yay. I live with somebody like that, and I usually want to kick them in the nuts. So, hey, good for me. But I don't know. Yeah, I can't. And then there are these people that do, I don't know if they call them joy journals or things that made me happy today. And I also want to punch them in the face, just because no. But God bless you that there are people out there. I'm more of the kind of person that, I've endured enough pain and agony that I understand what joy is, because if you haven't endured pain, you can't understand joy. But I have to seek it out. I have to really focus and understand that joy is in my life. I mean, I have two beautiful children, adult men that, bring joy to me. And in fact, I have date day with my son tomorrow. I'm looking forward to because he always lifts my mood. He just does, and he takes me out to lunch. We talk about life, and he just has a way of just kind of just making things interesting. He has a lot of interesting things going in his life. So sometimes you can smile without even thinking about something. You can see um, somebody do something foolish. You can see something that is so abstract out of your realm of consciousness, and you're like, what the hell? And you're smiling, and or you're laughing. And a lot of people misconstrue laughing at something versus laughing at someone, and that is so different. Not that you haven't laughed at someone, God knows I have, because ignorance and idiocy is what it is. But you can also see somebody do something that is just so funny, and you're suddenly in a giggle fit. I've done that more than once. But you also can go to concerts, you can go see comedians, and you can enjoy things that furnish laughter in your life. But it's those little things that I'm really trying to grasp at, those moments where you're just there in that moment, and you're looking around for, not even looking around, you're just observing, you're acknowledging, or you're absorbing. And it's not the worst thing to look at. Oh God, damn, I've got to clean the house again, or there's hair all over the house because I have 3 dogs, or all every negative thing that actually brings joy. I love my dogs, but God, there's hair, or things like that. So I'm really trying to remember that there are positive things to every negative thing. Sometimes I'll smirk at it or grimace at it, but um, there is definitely a way to seek out happiness, even if you're in the dark corner, even if there's days where I'd rather just lay in bed and pull the covers over my head. So it's a process. It's not something that comes as easy to some, or as easy as it does to others. So I'm really happy for those people that can do it, but I have to admit I'm not one of them. So, Pretty Bird, your thoughts on, smiles, the birth of a smile.
Well, I don't tend to equate my smile with my, impending sense of doom or overwhelm or things like that. It just is whenever it happens, it happens. And I find joy in the oddest places, in the misuse of a word from one of my kids. And it's purposeful. It's not like they don't know what it means, but they'll say something and it never occurs to me, and I giggle because their minds are amazing. Or it's usually not from within myself, because I take no joy within myself. That's different than taking pleasure. That's a story from another time. We had that story on Tuesday. But when it comes to smiling, I have such a um, I don't know, maybe it's going to be an unpopular opinion. And I'm not trying to make everything I say, men versus women or whatever it is. But when you grow up, and if you walk around your house, you're not smiling, and your father's like, just smile. And, you'll be fine. Just smile. Just where's your smile? I don't, why do I have to paste a smile on at 9 years old in my own house? Who gives a shit? You know? But it's not just that, it's strangers, it's your whole life. You'd be prettier if you just smile. I don't give a fuck what you think I look like. Look, I don't know who you are. And so for a lot of my life, you smile to shut people up, without wanting to look like you're going, otherwise it's a whole other you're a bitch conversation. And so true smiles and actual joy is tempered with the expectation of the people around you. And growing up, it was always people, usually older, that were like, "Oh, sweetie, just smile; it'll be fine." Why are you judging my resting bitch face? I'm not upset. I don't want to talk to you. And so I get offended if people actually ask me to smile. When I was a cashier, um, I was 19 years old. I was a cashier at the Home Depot, and I had a migraine. They would not let me go home. I was there like 7:30 in the morning, and there were no extra cashiers coming until 9, and I was there, and I was in pain. They're like, "You can't go. Wait till somebody else gets here." I'm like, "Great." So I looked miserable, and some guy put his hand on my hand as I'm going to scan his thing, like forcefully, and he's like, "First you have to smile." And I looked at him dead in the face, yanked my hand away, scanned his stuff, and kept on going. And he's just like, "Geez." I was like, with all due respect, no. And that's not good customer service. I was like, "Sweetie, cashing you out is my job. Customer service is not. That desk is over there." They're like, "Did you get off on the wrong side of the bed?" I was like, "I'm in pain and I don't owe you an explanation. I hope you have a wonderful day." And the guy after him was like, "Do you trust me?" I said, "I trust no one." He's like, "Give me your hand." I said, "No." Took my hand anyway, and pinched me as hard as can be between my thumb and first finger. And I was like, "What in the oh, okay then." He's like, "How you feeling now?" I was like, "Well, that edge is off. It's still there, but it doesn't hurt anywhere near as much. Much appreciated." And I still didn't smile for him. And I think that the expectation of others that we should smile is unfortunate, because now it adds pressure, and now it adds judgment, now it adds all this stuff, and it completely dismisses and disregards whatever it is you're going through, because they don't bother to ask if you're okay or why aren't you smiling. They're just like, "Smile, it can't be that bad. You don't fucking know, you know and it's
Yeah.
not your business." But generally speaking, I don't just go around with a big old smile on my face willy-nilly for no reason, even if I'm doing something that I love to do. I take most of my joy, and most of my visible joy is vicariously through and for others. So I get happy hearing about everybody else's stuff, or hearing about their funny, or sharing little moments with the people that I care about, or listening to stories about their day. I don't find the things I do particularly exciting. Like, people are like, "Oh my goodness, you have a show." Yes, and I have for years. Like, that's so exciting. Is it though? you know? I'm like, it's fun and it's enjoyable. I don't know about the excitement factor. They're like, "Ooh." I'm like, "Listen, if we had more than a couple hundred, whatever, if we had more than, like, if we ever get to like tens of thousands of followers and there's a lot of interaction, and maybe it'll be something for me to get excited about." But this is more peaceful to me because I'm hanging out with the people, and we're talking about all the things, and it's fun, and it's a nice break from having to think about all that needs doing, because we tend to dwell on our responsibilities, or what the expectation of responsibility, versus the reality of what we can actually get through in a day, and all of that stuff, and that ebbs and flows, and that can cause anxiety and stress. It causes anxiety and stress in me, you see, is what it is. But generally speaking, it's the little things that make me smile. It's the itty bitty little things. It is my dog looking at me and give me a little wiggle butt for no reason. It's the way she snorts like a pig when she's happy. She's a bulldog. She snorts like a pig when she gets her whipped cream, or when she's eating food that she finds delicious, or she literally sounds like an actual, like, on the farm pig. And it's the cutest thing to hear her grunt and snort, and that makes me happy, because I love pigs, and I have my very own, pig dog, and she is freaking fabulous. So I take a lot of joy in her, and her attitude, and her side eye, and her moodiness, and her so demanding nature. She is freaking fabulous. And so that makes me happy. She's also annoying, and she's my own wonderful little bitch. But I she also has resting bitch face because bulldog. So I feel her every step of the way. She is my spirit animal. It's fine. And but I take little moments of joy just in having her, in knowing where she came from, knowing what she means to me, knowing how full she made what was once empty. It's a lot. Now I also probably more so have that feeling when I get to FaceTime my baby nieces, and they get all excited to see me, and they do their little dances, and they show me all their stuff. Makes my stinking day. None of that has anything to do with me. That is just what love looks like. And anything that remotely feels like love, or somebody thinking about me, even if they're like, oh, I know she'll know, and they call me up for questions, the fact that I am thought of matters to me. And that makes me smile. And it's not because I don't think anything of myself. And it's not because I don't think I matter, even though, listen, if my head's up my ass, sometimes I can go down that rabbit hole of uselessness. It's just because you don't really think about what you mean to people, or how useful or how loved or whatever, until those little things show their face. And it's different than somebody who's too lazy to remember where they put their glasses. That's just, well, they were on your face. Why don't you start from the last time they were on your face and think about it? You're the one who put them there. That's different. That could be annoying. But when there's no reason for them to have to go out of their way to take 5 minutes to share their day with you, it matters. I mean, it matters to me, and that makes me smile. And we were talking just before the show. Rack was like, and I see that you're back, Rack. Hello. And he had said, I know that bird. And which brought me to a story of the first time anybody said that to me, like in an open forum. And it made me smile, made me blush a little bit, because, it was a thing. It's fine. And I love that memories can do that. And it's you know, like the song with the whiskers on kittens, and these are a few of my favorite things. And it depending on my mood, my favorite things change. Sometimes I'll put on my mother's ring and just feel like she's close to me. And sometimes I put on that ring, I'm like, this thing is freaking gaudy as fuck. And because and she loved it. So it's 100% her. And when I put it on, my hands are exactly her hands. And it really messes with my brain when I look at them, because it looks like my mom's hand. And I mean, she was pasty white. I mean, not so much, but whatever. But I rarely wear it out because it's just so extra. Um, but it makes me smile. Putting it on makes me smile. Thinking of her makes me smile. There's a lot of little things. It's funny. People say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, if I could love just one thing and just do that and still love it, it's fine. But I have a love-hate relationship with everything I've ever done. I mean, you had mentioned crocheting. It is a pain in the ass. It is a massive pain in the ass, but it's satisfying. And sometimes it's really relaxing. Sometimes it's really just frustrating as fuck. But when you finish a project, there's a sense of pride, and then you want to keep on doing it. And it does relax you once you get used to the rhythm of something. And hobbies are like that. But I don't know that it makes me smile. I think that it brings me peace. I think that it keeps my brain from wanting to eat itself, because my brain does that. My brain is not very nice to me. But I don't know. I used to smile and get all emotional when I used to teach the kids catechism classes, the music for the children's mass on Sundays. My friend Gina used to do it, and she's just like, this is what we're doing. And then we both did it for years, and I took pride and joy in all their little faces getting up there doing all the things. And it had nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. I take no credit for anything. When I don't know, it's weird. I never think about what makes me smile, because really it doesn't take much. But I have noticed that things that make me smile usually have nothing to do with me. And it makes me want to delve into why that is, because maybe that's not normal. Maybe I'm broken. Maybe everybody does it. I don't know. I don't talk to people about why they smile, but I think that it's interesting how something like the whiskers on kittens that tickle your neck when you pick them up, something, what always cracks me up is the fact that my dog, like, is the gassiest creature on the planet. She belches like a man and she'll fart everybody out of a room. It is quite disgusting and it cracks me up because she looks at you like, what did I do? And sometimes she'll wake herself up with her own stink of her own fart, and but then look at you like you offended her and leave the room, so you get to sit there with her stankness. And it cracks me up because it's such a personality. It's like a toddler. Okay, all of my boys, and I have four of them, all of them would fart so loud in their sleep that they would like jolt themselves awake, and some of them would cry, and some of them just be like, what the heck did you do, with give me a stink eye at 3 months old, and go back to sleep. And it cracks me up that even my pets do the same damn thing, because it's all about the gas in my family. I'm just saying. But it cracks me up. And I kind of like all that. You want to know what makes me happy? Before the kids get up on Christmas, because I don't care how old they are. If they are not all asleep, there's nothing going out underneath that tree except for family gifts. Santa gifts, I will do Santa gifts till the day I die. Do not go under the tree until everybody's asleep. I don't care how old they are. And so I always take pictures of the tree before anybody gets up with all of the things. And I like seeing their face because they can play it off all they want to. The second that everybody sits in position to start opening gifts, they still get all kind of excited, even if they try to play it cool, because it's just the way it is. And maybe it's not the same as when they were little, but it's a beautiful thing to watch as they're older, because it just so rarely happens, you know? I don't know. The birth of a smile. I think that the poems I brought are pretty much fuck you and I hate your smile. And here's the other side of that. I don't trust people. Life has taught me that there's a high likelihood that at some point during your day somebody's going to suck. And while sometimes people are wonderful and amazing and honest and true to who they tell you they are or show you they are, a lot of times this is a mask and that's a mask. And these are all these layers like onions that you peel away the more you know somebody. So when people start approaching me with a big old smile on their face and their arms out and can shout, I'll shake your hand, but I'm going to automatically not trust you. If you're going to come up to me and start with your compliments, I'm automatically going to think you're an asshole. If they're like, oh, well, isn't that a lovely smile? And I will stop smiling and look at them like, what the fuck do you want? I won't say that. I will still shake their hand and be like, all right. But it changes how I see people. Now, a normal smile, like I always say please and thank you to like the drive-through people and everybody that um is doing anything nice for me, even if that's their job, because I am glad they're doing it, and I will absolutely say thank you for them doing their job, because I need them to do their job well. Otherwise, why bother going to a place where somebody's going to serve you in any kind of way? You know what I mean? So why be an asshole about it? And it never surprises me how often people are surprised that you say thank you. You know, like, and I've been in restaurants where the waiter or waitress comes and that here's your food, all the stuff, and people are just in the middle of the conversation, and I will put my finger up to the people I'm talking to and tell the waiter thank you so much, and then continue my conversation, and people are just like, oh, all right, you're welcome, like completely surprised because they're like invisible. And I don't know how to make people invisible, on purpose anyway, because I always often feel fairly invisible. I know, hard to imagine with the big personality and the whatnot, but I do. I can very easily, if I'm quiet, I can absolutely blend into the background and do all the things, usually on purpose. But it makes me happy when they appreciate being appreciated. Because when you go through a certain period of time or all your life or part of your life where nobody says thank you, and people around you feel like they're entitled to the nice things you do, and if you don't do something nice one time, they're like, well, why'd you stop doing it? Maybe because you're an asshole. And so when you appreciate somebody, You can tell when people don't appreciate them on a regular basis because those are the ones that are always extra nice back to you. They're the ones that will be on top of your refills. They're the ones they will visit your table more than anybody else, or whatever the case may be, and whatever that situation is. Because being appreciated makes the job easier, makes you, more motivated. And it's funny because people don't think about that. People don't think about the thank yous to your team. They just want to take credit for everybody else's work. And it sucks. So when you spend a lot of your life, whether it's in uh, the workplace, whether it's at home, where people take you for granted, you learn not to take others for granted, at least for the most part. We're all human, we're all fallible, we are imperfect people. But it makes my day when something as simple as a please or a thank you makes somebody's day. Because the ones that don't give a shit, I don't care about. I'll say it 100 times, and if only one person looks like it matters, it's worth it. It makes a difference. It makes me feel good because I know what it's like not to have that kind of appreciation, to be taken for granted, to be running around so fast that, quite honestly, even if I got it, I probably wouldn't have noticed it until hours after the fact because I run at 100 miles an hour. So, smiles, I would rather make somebody smile than ever tell anybody to smile because who the hell am I? And I take such offense when somebody expects me to smile when I don't feel like smiling and it's not part of my job, that I'm always the asshole. And then I sit there and I contemplate, why am I the asshole when somebody is in my space telling me that I need to look like something I don't look like when they don't know what the hell is going on in my life? And quite frankly, if they ask me what's going on in my life, they don't know me well enough. I'll be like, who the fuck are you? It's there's no way to win that situation. But it's the expectation of somebody else to be smiling that I take offense to, because I think as adults, especially, we can pretty much tell whether or not we want to smile.
Amen.
So if I am not smiling and you want me to smile, maybe be like, oh, are you having a day? What's going on? How are you doing? Or if you don't know me, then move the fuck on. You don't get to tell me how to smile. You don't get to ask me how I am. You don't get to try to find out why I'm sad. If I'm not actively boohoo crying and look like I'm a mess where I need help, it's not your fucking business. And maybe that makes me an asshole. I'm okay with that. I am the asshole all day. In fact, I sent you a couple of days ago this little ditty of a reel
Yeah.
that it's all like, "Hi, I'm the asshole. And just the whole thing," and that's me. I am the happy asshole
Yep.
because I'm not going to make you feel bad on purpose. If you're like, it would be a lot easier if you just smile. And because especially if it's a guy, I will be all like, and they're like, ooh, you know, or I'll give him the stink eye, and I'm like, excuse me, but you don't know me, you know. And the problem with that is half the time you get, well, would you like to get to know me? And I'm like, I don't know. Just keep on fucking walking. I'm just like, oh, the resting bitch face saves nobody these days. But it's here's the thing. If there's this like a little kid, like a little toddler, and they're in line in front of you in the cart, and their mom's like, on the phone or not paying attention or do whatever, and they're trying to go peekaboo around their mom, and I go peekaboo, and then I go peekaboo around the other side, and they start to giggle, that'll make my day. It'll absolutely fucking make my day. I don't need to know anything about this kid. I don't need to talk to their mama. This kid smiles, I feel better. And if they're giggling, they feel better. And I am good with that. It really requires no knowledge of anything to have an organic experience that brings a little bit of joy. You know what brings me joy? Squishy things, squishy things. So if I get a hold of like a little like this, I'm squishing something now, a squishy thing like the beginning of going into Walmart or something. And I can squish it the whole way through the store. I don't need to buy it. I am just full on squish, 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 squish. If it makes a little farting noises, like every now and then you'll hear this one, it makes me freaking happy. And so I will just sit there and squish, squish. I will have a much better time squishing something than not squishing something. So I used to take my kid, my oldest, when it was just the one kid, because when there's more than one kid, it's a little chaos. They used to have this place called the Puppy Palace, and they had these like little corrals of dogs, all puppies separated by breed. There was like, I don't know, eight like 8-foot pens of like dogs, and you can pet the dogs. They were just right there, open air. You can pet all the dogs. And so you can pick them up, you can manhandle them, all the things. And so I would take him in there at 3 and 4 years old. I'd be like, you get to pick one. So let's go look at all of them. And he wanted to look at all the dogs. Then he would go back to whichever one he wanted to pet that day. And then he'd look and then pick one. And then I would pick up that dog, make sure it wasn't a spicy dog, because sometimes puppies are feral. And then he would pet the dogs, and I would talk to the owner and all this stuff. And it just calmed me down. It calmed him down. I'm like, listen, that's your treat. If you are excellent when I have to do all this shit today, we can go pet the dogs. And it worked. And I think that I actually did that more for me than him, because I can pet little baby animals all stinking day long and love my life, you know, because there's something sweet about the innocent of baby things. And on top of that, when they get all licky in the face with my kid and he gets all giddy, well, that's also joy. So I kind of miss that. I haven't thought about that in a long time, because once we moved where we move now, that place did not exist. And so none of my kids got to experience all of that. And when I went back down south, I couldn't take them all in there because my kids are crazy. One at a time, they're excellent. And pair any two of them together, they're crazy. Any more than that, I'm crazy. It wasn't good. But yeah, so I think that joy can be found in the smallest of things, at the finishing of a project or a poem, especially if it's something emotional. If you're not a writer, then it's whatever other creative thing you may do. The planting of a garden, or watching. Okay, so I planted some wing beans, and they were very slow to grow, and now they're finally over the top of the thing that they're in, and I'm like, I see real leaves. I'm so excited. And my son is like, there's like 2 of them. You planted like 10 of them. I was like, yes, but they're growing and we're good. So it doesn't take a whole lot to find joy in something. It's usually the small things. So long as nobody expects you to smile, so long as it's not something that somebody else wants. If it's a pure thing, it's usually something tiny, you know? It's, catching this. Okay, I was talking to Rack about some movie, like 3 days later. It was same time next year. I was like, have you ever seen this movie with Alan Alda and whatever, blah blah blah? It's like from like 1970 something, whatever it was. And like literally 3 days later, it had not been streaming anywhere. 3 days later, it just pops up, and I got to watch it for the first time in like a million years since I was a kid. And I got so excited. I mean, is it a good movie? No, it's not. Do I care? Also, no. It made me happy because it's something that I hadn't seen in forever, and I had just thought about it. And the universe says, okay, now it's been a while. You can watch it. And I'm just like, oh, yay, thank you. And so, I don't know. People around me usually think that I'm weird for the things that make me smile, and the way that I can find good in the little things that they find partially frustrated. Like, oh, I was hoping for all of, to get all this stuff done. I was like, yes, but instead of that, instead of doing, 16 loads of laundry, you not only did all of the little things, all the kids' socks, all your socks, all the underwear, all the little things that you separated, and then you cleaned out the drawers, and now you got things to donate, and now that drawer is spotless, and it's all put away. Do you still have more laundry to do? Yes. But is the laundry that you did fully fucking organized? Yes. Okay. I mean, that to me is a big stinking deal. I mean, how often do you organize all your shit? Because I don't organize it. I mean, I will fold it and shove it in there, but I don't clean it all the way down to the bare bones unless I have to, because how tedious is that? They're like, all right, you're right. I'm like, yeah. So it's easier to see, I guess, the silver lining in other people's shit than your own. Like it's very easy for me to be overwhelmed with the fact that I've got like, I don't know, a dozen projects half done, and I still want more yarn. And I don't need more yarn. I am aware that I don't need more yarn, but buying yarn makes me happy. And so I'm in the mood that I want to buy more yarn, but I know I shouldn't buy more yarn. I should use the yarn that I have. I might have a problem. It's fine. And so while I know that buying yarn will make me happy, not finishing my project makes me miserable. And so it's kind of this mess of shit. So what do? I will sit there and find new patterns and look for new types of yarn and do all these things as research, and that kind of fills the gap, especially if I learn something new, find something interesting. Then I don't think about what's overwhelming, and I don't think about um, having to waste money on shit I don't need. You find a happy medium. It's easier to see good in other people's chaos than it is your own. And because when you're in the chaos, you can't climb out of it without going through it. And going through it, when it's yours, you want to unpack all the things, and it's taking you 10,000 different ways, and it feels like it's too much until somebody comes along and it's like, hey, focus over this way. And then they're like, oh, look, the storm is to your left, but the sunshine is to your right. So we're going to walk in that direction for a hot minute so that you can get out of those clouds, and then, see a thing. But it's hard not to look at the storm clouds when they're your storm clouds. But it's easy if somebody calls you all overwhelmed, be like, okay, look, 2 seconds, one step back. Because the truth is, everybody else is an asshole. I'm just saying.
Everybody else is an asshole.
I mean, sometimes I'm the asshole. But I'm okay with that.
Me too.
How long has Rack been here and not in?
He's come in and come out and come in and come out.
Yeah, but he's been... Hey, Rack, are you there?
Maybe.
How long have you been backstage?
I don't know. I just heard you talking about assholes, and that just made me hungry, and I went in the kitchen.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Did you need me to keep an eye on that? Because I thought
No,
you
I
were
was keeping an eye on it. Every time he showed up, he didn't show up on the screen this time.
He doesn't show up on the screen unless you put him in the
brown
screen.
Eye.
Okay, so the way it works is if he completely loses the thing, and like the actual signal, not what it looks like on the screen, he'll come in and out. If it's still a little bit open, it'll stay blue. But every time he comes in, you have to check, because sometimes it doesn't. If it completely cuts him out and he has to sign back in.
Okay, but usually it says join stream, and that's what I see. So it's different.
That's only when he's all the way. Yeah, it's you always have to check. Yeah, because he's probably there for a while, because that black circle's been there for a while.
Okay, I did not know. I always look for join stream, so I was unaware.
Yeah, it doesn't always do that.
Okay.
She's just mad at me for yelling at her yesterday.
Oh,
no, this time I'm just pure ignorant.
No,
stop.
And not even a little bit. It's just always better to be safe than sorry.
Gotcha.
So, Rack, we're talking about smiles, and apparently me being an asshole. So continue.
Oh, the vertical smile. That's my favorite.
And that's why he's the punslinger.
Yes.
He just brings all the jokes. Well, he's not. That wasn't a joke. It's true. It's true. It's his favorite. I mean, might be everybody's favorite. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
And it does make people smile.
I mean, it does. I mean, it should. I hope it does.
Anyway.
So who are we putting up first? All right, go ahead.
I was just saying, I got nothing.
Yeah.
You got nothing? All right. I actually have me up first and followed by you.
There's 2 U's.
Followed by Pretty Bird.
it drives me nuts when you don't go in order because my OCD brain, it drives
I
me nuts.
know, but this is happiness in order.
None of my poems are happy.
All right, well, this is your first unhappy poem then. So this is happy endings because this is the happiest poem.
Happy ending.
I went with the happiest. Happy endings at last. I'm a bored princess, sad and depressed. Happily ever after stories, completely pointless. I listen to Cindy and Sleep talk about sharing lollipops with stable boys who have largest of flocks. I'll just play in the river, swim in the nude, let the sun dry my skin to a coppery tint so my hair and body will match. Oh my, I hear noises about Tommy the bird trying to catch a fish too big for his mouth. My knees are weak, my nipples peak. A god of the Greeks just emerged from the cool waters of my creek, blonde curls dripping down his face. Sensual chest of muscle I need to touch. Then I saw the dagger. I saw the danger, the giant squid in his underpants. I grabbed and pulled and fought with its head, grabbing with both hands, rubbing and sliding down, trying to bring it down. The monster just grew, and the man said, "Put it in your mouth, put your mouth on it and suck out the poison." I dropped to my knees, my jaw trying to take it all. Of the beast attached to my god, it was throbbing and hot, and I was getting moist and confused. Lay down on the grass and spread your legs across the lawn. The beast entered and filled me up till my eyes and the squid squirted with spit. He began to grow small. The man screamed, "You've done it. You took all of me. And damn did you please. I am a prince. Come away with me." I lay on the banks, breathless and sore. Orgasms gray, thanking the gods for my happily ever after day. End poem.
Well, Disney never wrote a story like that. I don't know. I kind of like the dagger. I'm just saying, when I saw the dagger, I know that you corrected it to the danger, but I don't know. I thought the dagger was very vivid. This is absolutely hysterical. But I mean, I like the naked. I like that the growing, throbbing heat. I mean, now if somebody smiled at me and said, "Just put your mouth on it and suck out the poison," I don't know if I could trust it. But going by this picture, I mean, hot is hot. It is what it is. I am just saying. You've done it. You took all of me. Listen, I know people that have yet to have that happen. So, do I feel for them? Maybe. Do I feel for them enough to give it a try? Not even a little bit. But I love that. Well, hey, since you could, it reminds me of Travis Barker on whatever that reality show that he was in when he was married his first wife. He's like, the whole reason they got married by their own admission on the show was that nobody was able to bring him to climax orally. And he's like, well, if I will marry the first person who does it, and she did it, and then they got married. And I was just like, you're low fucking standards. I'm like, "Geez Louise, you do not teach your women well." I am just saying, because obviously, um, they would need guidance into whatever the whoever likes to do whatever they like to do. But if you don't tell them how what it is you expect when you finish, that's on you. You know, I have no problem saying a little to the left.
Me either.
But I grabbed and pulled and fought with its head. Oh, do I have stories?
Uh,
I mean, I mean, I could. I mean, we talked about penises on Tuesday.
Yep.
I'm like, maybe not every day is a penis story. But listen, I have penis stories. So, I absolutely love this. I do. It's whimsical, and I like whimsical and sexy. So, Rack and Tour, your thoughts?
Rackendor is gone.
Oh no.
I know.
We had them on Tuesday all night for the
I
whole
know.
night.
And
I was
we've
kind of
lost.
hoping that we would have them all night, every night.
I know. He's left me on a good, you know, pulling, messing with, squids and everything. But
And all the things and sucking the poison out.
it is what it is.
And sometimes it tastes like Ajax. I'm just saying.
Yep.
So I'm up.
You are up.
Okay, this is Why I Never Trust a Smile, reason 10,342 by me, Pretty Bird. The suede of my skin still wears that moment where pre-dawn promise crackled beneath its honesty, a weight it can neither bear nor bear to lose. It wavered in morning mist, though never waved goodbye, and sunrise never looked quite the same. The skylight's blues and sights unseen, swaddling open chest wounds with innocence, where truth is held in empty hands, too afraid to open. End poem. Because, sometimes people lie.
Sometimes. The weight of my skin still wears that moment. God, isn't that the truth? I have so many moments worn on my skin, it's heavy. It wavered in morning mist, though it never waved goodbye. The sunrise never looked quite the same. Don't you hate it when they take that away?
I mean,
Wow.
I hate it when they take away the ability to trust people because that lingers.
Yep. Swaddling open chest wounds with innocence, where truth is held in emptied hands, too afraid to open. Yeah. That's almost like, for me, a literal metaphor, because laying there with an open chest wound and being lied, it just hits so home. It's like bleeding and holding on to that open chest wound and being lied the whole time too. It's so visceral to me. It's just almost like I can feel the crack of the chest and everything, that every cough and every pain and everything, and it's like, you know so very deep and so very true. um it's just anytime there's an open chest wound, everything, every movement, every cough, every sneeze, everything hurts. It's such intense pain, and it's like you're holding your heart in your hands. um, and it's just empty, and that just is so much pain right there. It's just so painful, and you can feel it's so raw and so there. And that chest wound, that open chest wound, is listed as one of the most painful things any human can go through, and you just seem to capture it perfectly. I really think that metaphorically, and the imagery and the message you're trying to put across is just blazing hot, because you are too afraid. It's just crazy right there. So that's pretty amazing. So I need to know how to put rack in now.
He's in.
Yeah, okay, he said. Just brilliant the way it just slams you right back in the chest. Fabulous work.
Thank you. You're
Wow.
back, Rack.
You're back, Rack.
Hey,
Hey.
We should probably play him before he leaves again.
I'm getting ready to right now. Right now, right now. Back Pooh, you're going up. Do you want to read him?
That's fine.
All
I
right.
mean, I just read, but okay.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta put him up. But yeah, he's a reader. He's a reader. He's Mr. Happiness, happiness, happiness. Boom. I got one for him to read and one for him to say. Or come on. All right, there you go.
All right. This is Killer Smile by Raconteur. And it goes like this. Confronted by incomprehensible beauty, lips glide across teeth, giving birth to a spark that ignites a flame, embodiment of passion and insatiably consuming all that it touches until every source of fuel has been exhausted, leaving behind charcoal-tinged tendrils, undulating gracefully over scorched earth and ash, cavorting on the stage of residual heat that refuses to dissipate, having tasted the chaos of combustion. And poem. I'm kind of digging the chaos of combustion, of combustion, no lie. And where is it? Where is it? Charcoal tinged tendrils. That the tinged tendrils. That is a hard. It sounds easy. It's not, because your tongue is doing weird things in the middle of your mouth to the end of your mouth to make tinged tendrils sound like two separate words. I am just saying. And I'm surprised I did not, tie my tongue over it, to be honest with you. Yeah, because it seems simple. Simple, it's not. I mean, I got all the other words just fine. But I love how this is the aftermath of passion, and all of its subtlety. It is the end of a flame. It is the spark, and then the night was spent. It makes me want to read Titus. I am just saying. And I kind of love that, by the way. If you can, bring me to other great poets, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. Undulating is usually not sexy, but it's the way it is over the scorched earth and ash. It reminds me of at the end of the session, things your body does things when things are done right, and that's exactly what that speaks to me. It really, really does, because it's kind of like a flopping fish out of water just a little bit. But there's a beauty in that. That is what a good job looks like. There's pride in being able to pull that through somebody, because that is an involuntary thing. Now you could be talking about something completely different, but this is what I'm getting. And I kind of love how that residual heat refuses to dissipate, having tasted the chaos of combustion, because there's something to be said for round 2 or 3 or however many rounds you can get to in a night. Sometimes you need a nap, and then you reboot. I'm good with that. But I love that this brevity catches an entire impassioned uh, moment, from the moment of ignition to the moment everything turns past embers to ash. So gotta love a hot night. So Sweet Pea, your thoughts?
Oh, this is just hot, dirty, melting. I mean, get down to every last drop dripping. Um, wow, chaos of combustion. I mean, I love that it's been tasted, you know, having tasted the chaos of combustion. I mean, the tinged tendrils of gracefully over scorched earth, ash cavorting. I mean, this is just everything that you want. And Oh, wow. This has got me Twitter pated because it is so, you know, it's like being in the pit of, I don't know, just vivaciousness and um, everything you want. It's like bodies and passion in every sense of the word. Like not one part of the body not touched, not grasp that, not covered in heat and oil and um, the warm fluid to everything that can be fluid. It's just perfect. Well done. Perfect foam. That one was hot, rack. Very hot.
And we lost them again.
And we lost them. All right. Now Budo has 2.
And they both have a recording.
Okay, so he has Killer Smile first.
That was Rack.
No, I mean, he has the wind and then a wink and a smile. So we will do wind first.
He has smile and then he has wink and a smile.
He doesn't have magic on the wind?
No.
I'm confused. Magic on the wind echoed in the starlight, entranced by the truth of her smile.
Oh, is that the what title is that?
That's a very long one. That's the right under what you put under yours.
Okay, under mine there's smile. I might have sent you the wrong one.
Okay, because I have a smile.
There's wink and a smile, and then there's smile. Smile is the one that is at the bottom of the thing.
Okay.
Is it in there or no?
Yeah, I think so. Which one do you want to go first?
Wink and a smile is at the top, so they tend to put them up in order.
Okay, we'll go with a wink and a smile. I'm a little confused on his, but that's all right. We'll get it straightened out. Ba-ba. Happiness. There. Come on, baby. Okay, here we go. And I think we should be ready. To power her up.
She bends the stars with a wink and a smile. And near and far she skips from moon to Mars. Her robe is veiled in cosmic dust, a comet's trail of wanderlust. Watch her trace across the sky. Watch her trace the sky. In the blink of an eye. An angel's face she plays upon, with graceful fingers touch the highs above. Unbridled consciousness, it seems. A whisper sideways in a dream. A blazing garland across the skies, blazing in the skies. In the blink of an eye. She bends the stars with a wink and a smile.
Rack is back. Hello, hello. Rack, are you there? I mean, he looks like he's there. All right, so Bud. Okay, so I am loving her robe is veiled in cosmic dust, a comet's trail of wanderlust. And here's the thing. That reminds me of pheromones, and I'm sure that it was very metaphorical and very cosmic and very, very ethereal. But it reminds me of pheromones when you're in the vicinity of somebody and you're pulled in that direction and it trails behind them and all around them and you can't place it. It's just this familiarity, this something that piques your interest and I kind of love that. So I watch her trace across the sky in the blink of an eye. And here's the thing, they don't have to be beautiful. They don't have to be anything. But when your energies meet, whether it's pheromones, whether it's kismet, whether whatever the hell you want to call it, if it pulls you, it pulls you. And I think that this is such a delicate and lovely way to look at that kind of connection of the way you know somebody before you know somebody, you know? Her her breath, she spins in ones and twos, ethereal and red and blues and reds and blues. And I kind of love that. I absolutely do. And the more you get to know somebody, the more you find beauty and awe in the little things. You know, when you get to her moment lingers on memory's touch, some people move you for more than a moment. And you think about them 20 years later, and he has this story that maybe I'm not the one that needs to share it, but he has a story, this moment with somebody on a plane, and he still thinks about her sometimes, and that's exactly what that feels like to me. Those moments that impact you, that shift something inside of you, whether it's thought, whether it's understanding, whether it's how you trust yourself to decide emotions, whatever it is. Sometimes you meet somebody and you're just not the same. And I love the beauty of this and that he can look back and still smile. That part that I just read, where is it? Let me get back over here. Her moment lingers on memory's touch. And, you know, decades from now, when you can think back and it still makes you smile and still makes your heart warm, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think that um, this lovely song depicts that perfectly. Your thoughts?
I think my favorite stanza in here is an angel's face of bliss comes soon the token kiss, shy repentance. Because it just says a lot about who she is, you know, that angel face, that kind of like that token kiss, and that shy, like, oh, you know, there's just so much, I know, sweetness about it, and so much to smile about it. Um, there's so much she does, and there's so much beauty in her, from her trace of the sky, the blink of the eye, the ebon and fire in her stare at dawn. I just find, all of your imagery to um, kind of wrap up this beautiful image of metaphor into something everyone's going to want, something that's almost untouchable, something that is, like you say, the whisper sigh that waves in a dream, but something that should be touchable, something that we want, something that we dream of, something that is within a fingertips reach, because we all deserve it. We all deserve that kind of love, that kind of beauty, that kind of desire. Um, I certainly know that beauty should be just like that in everyone's eyes, and that special chase for love, that special dream, that bending with the stars from moon to Mars. I really, really enjoyed it. So I thought we should do announcements.
Absolutely. So on Tuesday, the 28th, we have If Only. The crushing weight of unchangeable choices, the silence after a storm of words, the empty chair, the final glance. Life rewritten in the ink of regret, the unbearable cost of what would have been. We all contemplate. If only. If only I had picked up the phone that last time. If only we hadn't said those things in anger. If only I had. If only we had more time. So that is on Tuesday, where we contemplate. If only.
And on the Thursday the 30th, it is empty pages. An empty vessel, a blank page, a notebook ready to capture dreams, emotions, art, or thoughts. Words want to purge. Sometimes they just can't, whether it's a new beginning or marking space enough to breathe. What does a blank page represent to you?
I will fix that right now.
Oh, absolutely. Those are what we have coming up in the next week. You can listen to Pretty Sweet Distractions. Um, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock Eastern. You can follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Listen anywhere where you get your podcasts at Spotify, Amazon, Podbean, and more. We are actually live, like I said, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So leave a like, a heart, a comment. We enjoy your feedback. It keeps us going. So come and get distracted with us. We really do appreciate that. So if you're looking for a place to unwind, laugh, and dive into endless opinions, we're definitely we want to be your new late night favorite hangout. Again, we want you to follow those red shoes. They always lead to pretty sweet distractions. Send us a heart, leave us a comment. We love hearing from you. Let's see. I think and you can find us at many of our archives at PRTTY SWETT
EET.
I don't know how to spell my own name. Pretty Sweet at podbean.com, and you'll find hundreds of hours of our chatting, our subjects, our giggling, and our serious talk. So please don't forget to go there and scoop up some of those archives if you'd like to be distracted. So I believe I've covered everything, but if not, what would you like to add, Miss Pretty Bird?
I know we're good. Just type in Pretty Sweet wherever you listen to your podcasts and follow those red shoes.
All right. So as we go on, let me see where we are going to go here. Should have had that all set, but so far so good. A lot of things that are making us happy tonight. Nothing too evil, nothing too crazy. Let's see where we are. I just jumped back on empty pages. That's not where we are at all. Okay. We'll go to something cute and funny. I think that's always a good idea. Unless we all have them and we love them. Oh, I'm doing that horrible thing again. So. Oh, I lost my page. Sorry.
Do you need me to put something up for you?
If you wanted to, poetry. That's the page I lost.
What were you thinking?
My wiggle butt happy.
Okay. All right.
All right, I've got it. Hey, yay, there we are. I don't know how I lost everything. Little glitch there. Okay, so this is Wiggle Butt Happy. I smile at furry butts that wiggle just because I exist. A champion grin when teeth clinch, frisbees in the wind. The sneaky smirk when they sneak a chance at a snack. Begging eyes that seek refuge under covers of full giggles of troubles. Bounding about in full zoomy mode, looking amused is my mode. Rolling in mud from head to toe, a grimace with forgiveness. Dog hair stuck to all my clothes is the only way I roll. Early morning feedings and late night walks in the rain keep me sane. Mystique, Remington, Gunner keep me on my toes. Patches, Shadow, and Amadeus keep my memories tenfold. Each keeps a smile tattooed in my soul, no matter my mood. My Wigglebutt Aussies and Gunner the Border Collie are pure gold. And peace.
You know, there's something to be said about the unadulterated joy of a dog, and more so than cats, because I don't know any wiggle butt cats that even if they give you side eye, their butt does not lie. It's more than just a wagging tail. It is a fully energized rear end that is kind of like a propeller, just kind of winds up and goes. And it's hysterical to watch. And, to me, when my girl does it, it very much amps up the joy of that moment. It kind of comes with energy that just kind of infuses their love in the air, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I don't care if it's my dog, your dog, a stranger's dog that wants to come up to you and be like, love me. I will love your dog. I will love the stranger's dog. I will love that dirty dog. I will love that mangy dog so long as I have hand sanitizer. And I will love all the dogs, especially when they are just so happy. And I love how, when they're covered in mud and you're like, oh, but then they want to just be all, but look what I did. And you're like, okay, fine. It's like when my 3-year-old toddler went to go help his father water all the plants outside, and decided to be standing in the mud and just kept on with the spray nozzle spraying the dirt up against the house and back on him, that he was covered head to toe in mud, and he was just loving life. And I'm just like, I wouldn't let that happen. But how do you not love that? And then take the pictures and then take him back outside and hose his little muddy butt off and then bring him to the bath. It's just these moments that they're so easy to miss if you don't stop for a second to be like, listen, I know now I have to clean all the dogs and all the footprints and the floors, and let's not shake it off in the house, so I have to clean the walls. But it's funny. And if you don't find the joy in those moments that are frustrating, I think that you lose a lot of the good in memories, because if you don't let the funny parts in, it's not going to do you any good to think they're funny 10 years from now, you know? But if you're like cursing at the dog in the moment. So I love that all of that is listed in the good things, in that joy, because there is nothing that is more um that changes the feel of a room as quickly as a full joy, full-bodied wiggle butt. And maybe that goes for the wife too. I am just saying. I have been known to wiggle my butt and then come calling. I am, it works. But but yeah, when it comes to a beloved pet, it doesn't come with that kind of human judgment. I mean, don't get me wrong. The dogs will give you the side eye if you do something that they find questionable, but they love you anyway. But I love this. I absolutely love this.
Thank you.
I love how you mentioned, the doggies past. I know that that's not an easy thing, and I know enough that I have yet to write any ode to my own history, because it's too much. But so I kind of love this.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
love in the picture where Remington is all smiles and Mystique is like, I'm trying to be a lady. That one cracks me up. So I am going to put Rex recording in case he stops by. So I'm hoping he pops in. So here we go with Rex.
Gifting a Smile by Raconteur. Helplessly, I watched your heart, slowly hollowed out into a shell, crushing your spirit, dragging you through hell, searching for common ground to cultivate, with nothing but tears to help things grow. No sunshine to offer nourishment, just an overabundance of fertilizer polluting everything you know. If only you could look into my eyes, see yourself reflected there. I could simply touch your cheek the way you've touched my heart. You'd feel how deeply I care. I die inside knowing you suffer, wishing I could treat you how you deserve. Though I could never erase your memories, I still glimpse the remnants of love you've managed to preserve. Blind as I am, I can see that you're special, and there's nothing I wouldn't give to see you smile. Reacquaint you with happiness once again, and help make it last a very long while. End poem.
So that last stanza, blind as I am, kind of brings to light that without hearing it in a voice, and if they're not speaking, how does he know that you're smiling? And that the idea of that kind of breaks my heart a little bit for the reality of it. But up here, where is it? Okay, in the second verse. Uh, with nothing but tears to help things grow, and then an overabundance of fertilizer. So there's crying and a lot of bullshit, which, bullshit kind of leads to a lot of crying. Ain't no lie. But there's something profoundly beautiful about wishing somebody who's in pain can see themselves through your eyes. And that's the hope of everybody, that if you find somebody inherently beautiful, inside and out, and they can focus on, because oftentimes all we can focus on is the things we want to change, or things that have been brought to our attention, or whatever it is. But if for a moment you can just trust that what I see in you is also true, you know and I say also because you can't convince me that the things that I find unfortunate about myself are not real. I can see them, I can feel them. But if you don't find them unfortunate, and I can find a way to believe that the way you see me is also true, then maybe I can push the way I see it aside a little bit, and um, kind of hold on to the better version of that. It's not an easy thing to do. And we don't want to. We tend to not want to believe the good that people see in us when we're, you know, drowning in our own shit, which kind of sucks for the people who love us and like, did you call me a liar? So I can see that this is a painful, because if you can't do anything, if somebody that you love is hurting and you can't take away their pain and you can't stop what they're going through, you know, when that pain transfers into, you know, a bit of self loathing, all we can do is be like, whatever you think of yourself, I still love you. And these are the reasons why. And if they trust you enough to be to keep you as a friend, they should be able to see that they they should be able to trust that what you say is also true. So I love this. I find it just inherently beautiful that assuage someone's pain um wanting to assuage someone's pain is a lovely, lovely thought. So, your thoughts? Sweet, you muted.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk while I'm muted.
It's fine. Hey, Rack, I have your camera off, but you have your camera on. So nobody can see anything, but I just want you to know that your camera's on.
This
Yeah, I
is
don't know. This is the first time I'm. Anyway, go ahead.
It's fine. I have it so that we can't see anything, so you're good. Okay, go ahead. We just listened to you, and you just missed my wonderful comment on your poem, and now Sweet's talking.
it kind of breaks me because if you could just if I could just touch your cheek the way you touch my heart, you'd feel how deeply I care. Or with nothing but tears to help things grow, no sunshine to offer nourishment, no, just an overabundance of fertilizer polluting everything you know. It's it's like the flower that can never grow, but she's the most beautiful flower in the world. You just watch her wilt because the feed is bullshit and the sun is never there to nurture. And somebody's always telling her what a ugly piece of this she is. And the weeds are allowed to choke her. And the nightshades allowed to just grow around her. And no one ever there to nurture or water or tell her she's worth something. and she has the resilience to stand there and still be beautiful. But no matter what, it's going to bring her down. And there's nothing I wouldn't give to see you smile. You with the happiness once again, and help you make it last a very long while. Even though underneath her roots are kind of just shriveling away. And no one's ever going to see them except those that really know her. And I just really grasp this poem because it takes somebody with a lot of insight to really find that person and understand feeling regardless of what they are on the outside. It's very, very intuitive. It's a great piece of work. Nice job, Brad.
Oh, absolutely. You know, going back to that first to the first verse where it's, you know, helplessly I watched your heart slowly hollowed out in a shell, crushing your spirit, dragging you through hell. And here's the thing. When we're going through hell, we don't really clock it as anything but our own personal, you know, trials and tribulations. It is what it is. We still keep on doing what needs to be done, and we just kind of lose the joy in a situation. We if we just become robotic in our tasks, and then we end our day, and then we try to fight our brain to sleep, and then we go back to the next day and fighting tasks until we can get back to a closer semblance of self. But when somebody sees that, when somebody recognizes the before effervescence, and they know you enough to share their pain, you just turned your camera off, so whatever you did, you're good. Sorry, that was Sirac. It is sorry, my mind went sideways. It's a hard thing to
Yes, it is.
acknowledge, yeah, to acknowledge somebody seeing the worst in you when you are actively trying not to be your worst. You know what I mean? And because I don't know how everybody else is, but I tend to, if I'm going through some shit and I've got shit that needs doing on top of what I'm going through, maybe I don't want everybody to know all my shit. I mean, am I going to be a little bit different? Yes. Am I going to be short? Yes. Am I going to not ask you questions because I'm full of my own shit? Yes. Are people going to notice? Probably. Am I going to notice that they notice? No. But when somebody sits with you when you're in the middle of your shit and lets you actually pour some of it out, and still sees the best in you, it's a big fucking deal. And if through all of that they can take you outside of yourself for a little bit and say something stupid that's going to make you smile, or be their goofy self that's going to make you laugh despite your pain, it's kind of magical and kind of amazing. And it has nothing to do with romance and that kind of love, and everything to do with actual caring, and not a weird semblance of caring, and not a, oh, how are you today, that you give everybody, because they don't have to ask. They just clock it, and then they do stupid shit until you laugh and tell them to shut the fuck up, because that's how we roll. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's not easy when you're up your own ass. It's not easy when you're sad. It's not easy when you're pretending you're not sad. And by pretending you're not sad, it's not that you're pretending you're not sad. It's that you have to shove it down to do all your daily things. So it's not that you're pretending, you just don't have time for that shit sometimes. And when somebody sees it anyway, if someone knows you well enough to see it anyway and love you through it, keep them. Just keep them. Don't use them for the moment until you feel better and then walk away and think they're going to be there the next time something goes to shit. Keep them. Nourish that friendship, because it's a rare thing for somebody to want to be there for the bullshit and and not think any less of you. I'm just saying. And that's exactly what this depicts to me. So I loved it. Okay, don't touch your phone rack because I'm going to put you back on regular whatever it is so that your R shows up so that you actually look like a person on the screen. Okay, so we're good. So what's up next, sweet?
I have you up.
Oh, that's what I get for asking. All right, let me refresh my page. Here we go. This is Magic on the Wind, echoed in starlight, enchanted by the truth of her smile. I'm not long-winded, it's fine. By a pretty bird, and it goes like this. Captivating a soul in a smile, no logic in upside-down sense, throwing back her head to howl at the moon. Won't run out of fear and won't chase expectation, but that laugh will haunt each good day, turning it to dull brass by its side. Baring feet to feel the sand, swimming beneath the stars, fully dressed, that laugh intoxicates the air, turning heads. They watch because they can't tear their eyes from the sight. Singing in the breeze, twirling on the sidewalk, dripping water from burning eyes, there is still laughter like the wave of a wand. They get close in slow motion, and the sound is silenced, evidenced only by the drops of water left behind. Seconds, an eternity, her truth seared into everyone who feels her, captivated by a smile, intoxicated by the breath of her laughter. She laughs, and it saves her from the pyre they love because she is all they want to be. But when she loves, it is all there is. End poem.
Wow. You know, it's magic on the wind, echoed in starlight, enchanced by the truth of her smile. Won't run out of fear, won't chase expectation, but that laugh will haunt each good day, turning it to dull brass by its side. As if her smile is the source of salvation. But that's what's going to inspire you. That's what's going to be what makes you smile. Burying feet to feel the sand. God, I love that feeling. The stars are fully dressed. That laugh intoxicated. The air turning heads. They watch because they can't tear their eyes from the sight. As if she's love and joy, the beauty of life. And then you have the breeze twirling on the sidewalk, and she's crying from burning eyes, but yet there's still laughter in that pain. Seconds in eternity. It's like she's joy. She is the smile. It's like the personification of the smile. But when she loves, there's nothing else. That's all there is. There's nothing more. There can be nothing more. For love is all things. And as you always say that, there's no hate in love. Because that's the magic of it. That's the beauty of the life, the beauty of the laughter. That's everyone. One person can have the lives of others if it's done right. If it's in the kind of reflects the beauty of it all. It's very profound for me. Could be completely wrong, but that's how I read it. So, Ragintor, your thoughts?
I think the magic of it is making her smile in the first place. But that the idea of this I think is beautiful because that there's I mean the intention to begin with, the idea of making you part. And regardless of be your partner or not, really partner, if it's someone that just want to make you know, it's the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, is if you truly want to see someone happy, is to do whatever it takes, whether it makes you happy or not. But there's the hint of when you're not happy that you talk about in this, that's kind of underlying, well, when you're not happy, and that comes out in this as well. It's not something that we generally talk about because we don't want to be bothered when we're not happy. We don't want people to. It's really none of their business if they're not part of our inner circle, and if they were, they would kind of know why you weren't happy, and you wouldn't have to explain yourself, and all the things that are kind of wrapped up in this are beautiful. You know, it shows what a complex person and what emotions tend to do to some people. Um, to me, that it's and really, um, it's something that really is only obvious when you get to know someone as well. So that's what makes this beautiful to me because. Um, the other people that see it don't necessarily notice it, but the ones that matter tend to, and that's what I love about the idea of this. And again, is the other piece of it. The only thing that really matters is that smile and when you are happy. So I enjoy this,
Thank you. It's funny.
long-winded or not.
This was written to a prompt that she is mad, but she's magic. There is no lie in her fire. And it's what I think is interesting. Not that I'm commenting on my own shit, but both of you mentioned sadness from the dripping water from burning eyes. The thing is that, she's barefoot in the sand and
Tears of
jumping in the
joy.
ocean. No, it's that it's salt water. It's salt water, like ocean water, not, and she's dripping wet. It's not saltwater sadness. And I kind of love the idea of it being interpreted as sadness because I think that we are seldom one emotion, you know? So I kind of like the way you guys see that, but this is all full, no fucks given, swirling in the rain or in the ocean water, and um, it doesn't matter who's staring at her, you know. And there's very few moments in life, at least for me, there have been. Y'all can let me know your experience, but there are very few moments in life where you're walking in like out in public and howling at the moon and twirling soaking wet from ocean water, fully dressed. I mean, these things don't usually happen because, especially as adults, because we're like, oh, if I don't have a change of clothes, if I don't want to vacuum the shit out of the sand out of my car, and I don't know about other people's beach sand, but Florida beach sand is like a bunch of crushed shells and stuff sticks in your carpet. You can't vacuum that crap out. It's all more trouble than it's worth. So to be that devil may care, that carefree, to me is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And to add, I don't care what people think on top of it is a level of freedom that I think is rarely found as an adult in those moments where it's easy to watch somebody else and very hard to allow yourself that freedom because our minds tend to be all of the pros and cons in lightning speed to talk us out of doing things that we would otherwise do. And I think that that's unfortunate. So I like the idea of freedom, probably because I don't allow it much for myself, to be honest. Back to you, sweet.
To me. Okay. I have voodoo on the board.
Awesome.
But I liked your explanation about the sand and the ocean and all the many things. Sometimes you profound me as well as proflex me. Let me get the Budo song up and we will play this.
She looks in the mirror, a reflection staring back at her in a hallway on the wall. She can't see the beauty or the magic in those sad blue eyes that are crying deep inside. But oh, don't you know that you hold the key to my heart in your soul? So smile, please smile for me. Soft golden hair framed by an angel's face, so fair, so innocent, but full of pain. She yearns for the love of someone far away, but she knows it's just a dream of hers. It's her curse. But oh, don't you know that you hold the key to my heart in your soul? So smile, please smile for me. She looks in a mirror, a reflection staring back at her in a hallway on a wall. She can't see the beauty or the magic in those sad blue eyes that are crying deep inside.
Oh, she yearns for the love of someone far away, but she knows it's just a dream of hers. It's her curse. Why does this remind me of Titus? Um, his 15 years of long distance has touched us all. For anybody who has listened for years to his amazing poetry and all of the things, it's pretty much captured in that moment, both sides of it, in that yearning for the love of someone far away. It's sad when we look at ourselves in that mirror and we see, well, today I'm presentable, and maybe they can't see the pain in my eyes and I have to go outside and do all the things. But when somebody sees through that, to that beauty and that magic that is beneath the pain or in spite of the pain or in addition to the pain, I think that we overlook a lot of moments from people that we may or may not feel differently about, but the ones that see us, even when we don't want them to see us, even if they aren't our closest people, there's kind of magic in that. Because the older we get, the easier it is to go through life and not let anybody see anything. Nope, don't ask me. I'm going to look as normal can be, and whatever that normal is for you. So when people see it anyway, it's almost like, how dare you, sir? You know, do not look into my eyes and see something deeper than what I'm showing you. The nerve. And but there's something lovely about those who still find it beautiful. Not that they want you to be in pain, but that despite the pain, you are still ethereal. You are still worthy. You are still magic, you know? And so I absolutely love this. There's something to be said about the power of love or the beauty of affection or whatever. And he says here at the end, another sappy song, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that um, it's an uncommon thing to see more in somebody than they can see in themselves when they're going through the trenches. You know, it's just sometimes when you're going through the trenches, you don't know that people can see you. You don't believe what they see because you can't see it yourself, and you don't want to be seen. So when somebody is delighted at the heart of who you are, when you can't feel your best self, it's amazing to me. Also a little bothersome because, you know, I don't like to be seen. You know, I'm a big fat hypocrite. It's fine. It's, yeah, but it's true. And there's a gentleness in his view on this that I find truly, truly lovely, because it's not invasive, it's not intrusive, it's not a I see the real you in there, you know, like dismissing the pain. It's not in spite of the sadness, it's in addition to it, it's hand in hand. It's not um it's not overlooking someone's truth. It incorporates it in what makes them strong and beautiful, and I find that truly lovely. Sweet pea, your thoughts?
She is trying to make her know she's not invisible, even though she thinks she is. She doesn't know that there's beauty still left inside of her. That she's someone that means something, at least to him. That she's seeking something far away, because I think what's in front of her, she doesn't believes in her. She thinks what's left is just not there. That she's cried enough tears in that hallway mirror, and that they're so far deep inside you can't even see half the tears she's cried. And he's begging, he's trying, but I wonder if it's too late. Because once you believe and you're hiding it deep, I wonder if you can save what's there.
Hello.
So, is he around? Did we lose him completely?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. So
But you're up.
All right, I do have one more to.
It's already posted.
It's already up there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have a gaggle of giggles, because my father used to call all my friends when we got together a gaggle of girls with a gaggle of giggles. So, infectious, inappropriate, and ill-timed, we giggled. Preachers, teachers, ma's and pa's, all trying to school us about our evil ways. Our short skirts and makeup, Satan singing about evil when our records played backwards. Bad girls with loose reputations. My poor mama prayed, while my best friend and I guzzled the bubbles in a gaggle of giggles before growing up became today. In peace.
You know, I looking back on that whole, the devil's in rock and roll, and listen, it's making words. It ain't making words. Okay. Yeah, people can hear what they want to hear. That's not something I think of often. So thanks for the memories. But yeah, back in high school, everything is funny. Everything is inappropriate. All our inside jokes were full on off color, but um kind of muted in innocent language because grown-ups never really understood. Okay, so we thought grown-ups never really understood because we thought we were clever when we learned something new and then call it something else, and, like it's our own secret language. It really wasn't. I mean, as an adult, I'm sure that they picked up on all the things.
Yes.
But there's just something about thinking that you had your own little inside jokes like that. They were just absolutely hysterical. A look, it didn't even need to be words. A look would just set off the group, and that would be it. And nobody gave a shit about what people said or what they were looking at, whatever. I mean, we would walk through the malls and or be on the beach or be wherever we were and just die of laughter at every little thing. That is not an easy thing to do as an adult. And if you're doing it as an adult, they're either gummies or something's being smoked. I am just saying because um if it's just school pressure and just, family stuff, it's different than full responsibilities. And those full responsibilities take up so much of your brain power that effervescence is not so bubbly. And so you have to be able to relax to get to a point where you can get an honest to God case of the giggles, you know? And when it does happen, it's hysterical and it's infectious. It takes one person, even today at this age, takes one person to laugh a full belly laugh, especially if they lose voice and it's all just gasping air. It makes people laugh because there's a freedom in that, like baby belly laughs that is quite contagious, and it doesn't happen often enough to be like whatever. It's contagious and it's beautiful, and I remember when my oldest would have a bunch of his friends in the house and they would laugh at some stupid shit, let me tell you what. And but they would they gave no craps. They would just giggle at the most ridiculous stuff. Not as bad as girls. Girls are super high pitched giggly, but it's still hysterical. And so I love the freedom in this. I love the idea that, I mean, if everything we do is wrong anyway, might as well have fun. And being able to laugh at all the things. And I miss that freedom. It kind of takes me back. So lovely. I think that's a lovely place to end on, is that kind of when you think you're not so innocent, but once you're old, you were really innocent when it comes to the freedom of those giggles. And it's nostalgic and it's lovely.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You are welcome.
So, it is about time to say goodnight and close our show. Once again, you can.
Coming up next week?
Yes, we have next week.
Yes, on Tuesday it is If Only. So the crushing weight of unchangeable choices, the silence after a storm of words. We all contemplate what could have been if only.
And we have the empty pages. What does a blank page mean to you? An empty vessel? A notebook ready to capture dreams, emotions, art, or thoughts? Words that want to purge? Sometimes they just can't. Whether it's a new beginning or making space enough to breathe. What does a blank page represent to you? You can find us and follow us on Facebook Live, Twitter X, and on YouTube. Follow those red shoes and you can find us anywhere. You can find hours of us talking about hundreds of different subjects. Listen to our opinions, then add your opinions to our opinions. Add the hearts, add the smiles. Do everything that you can. Like, follow, share. We're everywhere. You can listen to us at Pretty Sweet at podbean.com.
.podbean.com.
.podbean.com.
Right.
Always missing a dot. And that's
Well,
PR.
those are our archives where you can listen to everything we've had live, pre-recorded stuff. That's all of our stuff. And follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. But we only go live on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern.
That's right. We are part of All Poetry. You can find us inside there at the group Pretty Sweet Distractions. Same name as we go by here. And of course, we had a lovely time, and we hope you did too. But of course, if you did not, you can
Fuck all the way off.
So we'd like to say good night.
Good night, everyone.